Going back and watching the Mighty Nein actual play after watching the show has been such a heartwarming and uplifting. Oh my god, is that Sam Riegel? Welcome back, everyone. We're here today to talk about Mighty Nein, Campaign 2 of Critical Role, and we are talking about episodes 27 to episodes 30 in this review, discussion, whatever we call these things that we do. We're just here to share our love, really, of Critical Role together as fellow critters, which I think now I can call myself one of those. I am one of you, and we are all one. But before we get into this discussion, I have a question for you. What is your favorite guest appearance? And it can be in anything. It could be in Critical Role, it could be in the Mighty Nein campaign, it could be in anything. Because for me, when it comes to Mighty Nein, I might have a new favorite. We're gonna start this off by talking about that new favorite, and that, of course, is Nila, who's played by Sumali Montano. Nila is a firebolg, a druid, and what I love about her in particular is that this is Sumali's first time really playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, she says she played once before with her friends in preparation for being on Critical Role, but otherwise she had never played D&D before, which I think, how crazy is that one of her first D&D experiences was playing with Critical Role. I think that's amazing. She does such a great job, and it's not just about the way that she plays the character in terms of gameplay mechanics or anything like that, but I do think, even considering this is her second time playing, she does a really good job with thinking about how to use her abilities in terms of creative ways to problem solve, to deal with enemies, to just deal with challenges in the game. And that is something that a lot of people struggle with off the top. People just struggle to put themselves in that creative place. But of course, anyone that guest stars on Critical Role is going to be an amazing creative. And Nila was no exception to that rule. Sumali playing Nila is absolutely peak. And you know, we've had a lot of amazing guest stars up to this point, and I feel like every time we get a new one, I almost every time I think that they're my new favorite. I think the only one that I didn't say that about was Keg. Sorry, Keg. I do still like Keg as a character, but Nila is just, she's so funny, she's so earnest, she's so sweet. And it's also just the characterization and the way that she's played as sort of this fish out of water. She's really never been outside of her home, and she's never had to step into this role of being a hero, of being a leader. And so seeing a character who has not had that experience, have that experience for the first time, and kind of meet up with these friends, and who, despite that not being who she is, has to step into that role to save her family. I just think it's such a powerful motivation for the character. It's very earnestly played, and Sumali does an amazing job. So I was very sad when Nila, who was with us for a little bit here at the end of this segment that we're discussing, had to leave, because I loved her. I thought she was great. I wish she could just be with Mighty Nein all the time. She was that good. Hopefully we'll see her again. And of course, there's a very real, I think, potential for guest stars to return, which is something I'm realizing, because the other thing that I got to watch during this block of episodes is the Gen Con live actual play. And you want to know what's funny? I was at Gen Con that year, but I wasn't watching Critical Role. I knew of Critical Role, I'd heard about them, and I go to Gen Con pretty regularly. I love board games. If you didn't know that about me, I feel like it might be obvious from the stacks of board games that you can even see on frame. But I also love tabletop RPGs, which I'm sure you maybe know by now if you've been watching my videos here on Critical Role content. But yeah, so I love going to Gen Con. It's amazing, it's massive, it's fun, and I always find way too many things that I want to buy. But I was not there to watch this live, and I wish I had been, because it was an absolute treat to watch. I hope I get to watch a ton more of Critical Role live stage experiences, because it's just magical. you know, when you have an audience and the audience is cheering and booing and all of the emotions that you feel are heightened by hearing that audience reacting to it and getting to see the reactions of the players with the audience. Because obviously when Critical Role is gathered and they're playing online together, they do have a live audience watching them, you know, on stream, but they're not focused on what people are saying. So there is a little bit of this fun back and forth that I really enjoyed. And the other thing that I really enjoyed, speaking of guest stars that come back, is of course the return of Shakaste, which I was not expecting. And I loved Shakaste when he first appeared, and I loved him again in this, baby. He is so cool. He is so smooth. And I even love that we got a little moment where Nott was able to apologize to Shakaste for stealing Shakaste's money, which of course happened last time the whole group was together here. And Shakaste's response is perfect. Shakaste says to Nott, "Don't worry, baby, if I didn't want you to take that money, you wouldn't have had it. It's all right that you took it because I basically gave it to you. Nobody steals from Shakaste." I loved that. I loved the acceptance, and I just think, yeah, Shakaste is a character who needs to be a guest star because he's just too cool. That's the only issue with Shakaste. He's too cool. So to see our whole team come together we've got Shakaste here, we've got Keg here, stepping in to sort of fill out the party as we are down Ashley as Yasha, we're down Fjord, and we're also down Jester here. We don't have Travis, and we also don't have Laura because they just had the baby. I think it was really amazing. And getting to see them fight against the Iron Shepherds, who have been absolutely just despicable villains. It felt so good. It felt so good to see them get revenge for Molly and for Caleb's cat. And Caleb actually had a really great play in this. They all had a really great play fighting against the Iron Shepherds, and no doubt, of course, doing it on the main stage. It was an amazing fight, and we had a lot of really good roles, and it was exciting. And I have said this before, I'm not a big combat person, but that episode, I was a big combat person for that one episode. I was so tapped in. And it was one of those things where if I missed a moment because I wasn't looking at the screen, I actually had to go back and rewatch it because that's how excited I was to be watching Critical Role. But the real highlight, of course, of the Gen Con actual play is Sam's costume. I mean, what a scene stealer. What an absolute legend Sam Riegel is. I love Sam Riegel so much. He just makes me laugh. He makes me happy. He brings this spark of joy that I did not know I was missing in my daily life. But once I started watching Sam Riegel play D&D, I discovered, there it is. That's what I needed. And now I have that. I couldn't be happier. And of course, I need to bring up Sam as well because I've just been watching Vox Machina. Season 4 just came and went, and I did a bunch of content here on the channel. If you've missed any of that, you can definitely check it out. We'll probably have a card somewhere up on the screen for you to click. But yeah, I absolutely love Scanlan as well in Vox Machina, who's played by Sam, and I love Tyrion this season for Vox. And if you also are interested in seeing me watch Vox, my reactions will be coming up for members, and over on my Patreon we'll have the full reactions as well. So if you missed any of that content, make sure you check it out. And if you want to see the reactions, make sure you are signed up for those things. But when it comes to characters, it's not just Shakaste and Keg and Nila that we've seen. We also got another new character because Taliesin finally reveals his new character after Molly Mock's death. Who is it? Drum roll, please. It is Caduceus Clay. Mr. Clay. I love him. Oh my goodness, where has this character been all of our lives? And I know some of you were saying in the comments, look, the death of Molly is sad, but wait till you meet Taliesin's new character, because some of you were saying this is your favorite of Taliesin's characters, like, ever. Like, that's how good Clay is. And I have to say, after meeting him, I think I might have to agree with you all. And that's no shade to Vox, and that's no shade to Molly, but Mr. Clay is just that good. And I love how through, I even think Matt's playing of the NPC Pumat's soul. I don't know if that's what maybe inspired Taliesin here to play a Firbolg, or if it inspired Nila, Sumali's character of Nila, but I just love that we're getting more Firbolg action because, you know, we do already have Jester as a tiefling, and I like Molly a lot. I do miss him, and I do feel sad that he died, but man, Taliesin cooked with Mr. Clay. He's just also so different than the rest of the party. He's just a little hermit that likes growing tea out of dead people, and he does not seem to be a person that really drinks, and he just seems so sweet and quiet and gentle. So I love that character. And finally, we have a healer who heals. So thank the gods. That means that Laura can be chaotic and crazy, and I don't have to be upset with her for it because her party is dying with her playing as Jester. And speaking of Jester, we of course also got the return of Jester and Fjord in these episodes, and that was just lovely to see, to have them come back. It honestly felt like they were gone for so long. Like, I kept thinking to myself, will they ever return again? Feels like it's been 1 million years. And with them coming back, that also meant that Keg would be leaving. And so unfortunately, we did lose Keg, which I loved watching her play with the team. It really felt like she became a member of the Mighty Nein during her time, which is also why I love that when she left in the quiet of the early morning or the late night, she left letters for everyone as Keg. So having her there and having her leave those little personal notes for everyone that she herself wrote, I thought was really cute. And then they all read them in character. Bo's note cracked me up. Just Keg trying to write something sweet and kind of poetic and then being like, never mind, that's so not me. After their one intimate night together. I thought it was really fun, and sad to see Keg go, but happy to have Jester and Fjord back for sure. And of course, now that our missions are done and we have our team back together for the most part, minus Molly, rest in peace, we are heading back to Zadesh. And we made it all the way back to Zadesh after what felt like forever with them being gone. I didn't even know if we were ever going to go back to Zadesh, to be honest with you, but the missions were complete. We went back, we got our paycheck, and now here we are again in Zadesh. One Molly down, but one Mr. Clay added to the party, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm sad that, you know, Yasha is gone because I want more Yasha back in my life, but I know Ashley's not available right now, so hopefully we'll see Yasha again soon. Every time she's gone, I really miss her. And that's really all I have to say about these episodes. I thought all of them were absolutely amazing. It was a really fun time watching them. It did take me a little bit longer, but I think it was also because the death of Molly like kind of hit me. Honestly, I was not expecting that. It was very surprising. And now I guess I'll know to watch out for it in the Mighty Nein animated series. I'll get my tissues ready when we get to that part of the story. But speaking of Mighty Nein, I obviously have been watching through this campaign after watching the show. And if you've missed any of my previous videos where I've been going back and watching Mighty Nein, you can check those out over here. Let me know what you think of these episodes down in the comments below. I'll see you down there. And until next time, friends, stay nerdy. And thanks for watching. Bye!